Venus is often better seen with the unaided eye than in a large telescope, where it sometimes disappoints. To the eye only, Venus is the brightest object in the sky, except for the sun and the moon. It is often called the wishing star for being the first of the small lights out at night. Yet Venus plays hardball, and then it hides its face from the viewer. Heraclitus said nature loves to hide, and he might have been thinking of Venus. Although Venus is the closest of the planets to the Earth, it has confounded all attempts to learn its secrets by the telescope, and has only revealed its facts to an armada of spacecraft that have penetrated the silent Venetian skies in search of answers. Here they have found a hostile world, hardly appropriate to the planet that has been called Earth's sister world. No planet has so much error written of it. From non-existent satellites to snow-capped mountains poking up amid its clouds to spokes and canals, Venus has been bad luck to the researcher. On the face of it, our sister planet seems to have all the right credentials to be speedily discovered. Venus is the next planet inward towards the sun, and therefore the closest world to our own after the moon. Venus is only a little smaller than the Earth, so it sometimes appears large, sometimes approaching an arc-minute or a 60th of a degree in size. Because it is interior to the Earth's orbit, we see Venus go through phases just like the moon. So it seems to have advantages for the observer. Yet Venus is covered in a thick layer of atmosphere, hiding stubbornly the nature of its surface. Little was known about Venus until spacecraft entered the cloud-capped world and were able to explore its hostile vistas. For the visual observer, Venus is often called the evening star, since it appears often at dusk, shining brightly as the sun sets nearby. Venus is always found close to the sun and never seen in the middle of the night, at least for observers outside the polar regions. In a small telescope, Venus is colorless and in a phase like the moon. Galileo was the first person to see phases of Venus in his small telescope. He wrote that the mother of love, Venus, imitates the moon. Venus is named for the goddess of love in the Greek pantheon of gods. It is the only planet named for women, and since the craters on the moon are all named for males, when labels for newly found Venus formations were selected, they were all named for females. Venus has had many watchers over thousands of years. In China, this planet was Taipo, or Great White, while in the West, the planet was identified with copper, and its color was green. The odd color association is explained by the fertility of Venus, and green is the hue of fresh sprouts and new life. One other association with females is that when Venus disappears and reappears as a morning and then an evening object, it is visible for about 263 days. The human pregnancy period is very close to this figure. Tribes in West Central Africa regard Venus in its morning and evening apparitions as two different wives of the moon. One wife, Chekachani, is the morning wife. She lives in the east and is with the moon at dawn. But she doesn't bother to fix meals for him, and he loses weight. The unhappy moon, waning and losing weight, goes to the other horizon, where his other wife, Pukani, waits for him. She is an excellent cook, and after the crescent phase narrows, he starts getting bigger once more, and all is set right.